The Aviation Matters bring you all the latest information and events across the country under the Honorable Minister of Aviation on executives, policies, projects, and everything that's related to the aviation transportation industry. Stay tuned.
Passengers using the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, are set to enjoy relief and comfort as President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurates the newly completed ultra-modern International Airport Terminal, Lagos. The new terminal is expected to handle 14 million passengers a year. The new Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos Terminal, built by the Chinese construction giants CCECC, working with 4 local consulting firms, is equipped with 66 check-in counters, 5 baggage carousels, 16 immigration desks at arrival, and 28 desks at departure. Located on 50,887 square meters, the airport consists of a 4-story main terminal building, 3-story finger building, 2-story cargo terminal building, 82,925 square meters apron and external works such as bridges and roads. It is also equipped with a 10 ELV system, a 3-dimensional multi-layer sorting baggage system including 5 arrival and 6 departure system, 7 boarding bridges, 22 guest rooms and spares. The airport is also equipped with Category 1 navigational equipment, safety facilities, and infrastructures. The President in his address described the terminal as a world-class facility and reaffirmed his administration's commitment to the development of similar infrastructure across all sectors of the Nigerian economy.
It is with great pleasure that I am here today to perform the official commissioning of the newly constructed terminal building of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. This event is an eloquent testimony to the strong commitment of our administration to the development of world-class infrastructure across all sectors of the Nigerian economy.
President Muhammadu Buhari has instructed the Minister of Aviation, Senator Hadi Sirika, to fast-track the planned concession of the 4 major airports across the country.
Consequently, the Minister of Aviation has been directed to fast-track the airport concession program. Similarly, the Abuja second runway is being fast-tracked.
The President also instructed the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning to urgently source funds for immediate construction of the second runway at the Abuja airport.
The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning has been directed to source sufficient funding for the project, while the Minister of FCT is directed to conclude the tiling of the approved 12,000 hectares of land to accommodate the railway and other development projects. Let me express my deepest appreciation to our partners in this project, the government and people of the Republic of China, through the China Export-Import Bank and CCECC Nigeria Limited, for their commitment and support towards the completion of this infrastructure.
The President also commended the Ministry of Aviation and the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, for the completion of the new terminal, stressing that it will further create more jobs for qualified Nigerians, especially the youths. Beyond that, the President said that the new terminal will create an additional 3,000 direct and indirect jobs, while the sector's contributions to the gross domestic product would further be enhanced.
Let me also commend the Federal Ministry of Aviation and its agencies, particularly Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, for working assiduously towards the realization of the project. With the delivery of this project, a new era of safety, security, and comfort has been ushered into the Nigerian aviation industry. and I am persuaded that it will get better with the passage of time.
Other facilities in the terminal include 8 security screening points, 2 food courts, 4 premium lounges, 16 airline ticketing offices, visa on arrival, and port health facility, as well as praying areas, more than 3,000 square meters of duty-free space, approximately 5,000 square meters of lettable utility space, amongst others. The new terminal is expected to generate direct and indirect employment for Nigerians, as well as enhance passenger facilitation and comfort at the Lagos airport. Speaking at the commissioning, the Minister of Aviation, Senator Hadi Serika, referred to a recent aviation sector study for Nigeria by the International Air Transportation Association (IATA) in June 2020, showcasing the significant contribution of air transportation to the national economy through providing 241,000 jobs, direct and indirect, and a contribution of $1.7 billion to the national economy. Referring to the ongoing chaos created in the sector by lack of Jet A1, leading to unduly flight delays and or cancellations, the Minister of Aviation, Senator Hadi Serika, appealed to the President to direct the NNPC to import Jet A1 in good quantities and devise means to sustain supply, as well as directing the CBN to allocate forex for the major marketers to sustain supply.
The terminal you are about to commission, Mr. President, has the capacity to process 14 million passengers per annum. There are 66 number check-in counters, 5 number baggage collection carousels, 16 number immigration desks at arrival, 28 number desks at departure, 8 number security screening points, 6 number passenger boarding bridges with remote boarding and arrival. Other facilities include 2 number food courts, 4 number premium lounges, 22 number guest rooms and spas, 16 number airline ticketing offices, visa on arrival and port health facility, praying areas, more than 3,000 square meters of duty-free spaces, and over 5,000 square meters lettable utility spaces.
Prior to the aviation roadmap that was developed and approved by Mr. President on the 18th of October 2016, which includes national carrier, airport concession, maintenance, repair and overhaul center, MRO, aviation leasing company, agro-allied cargo terminals, as well as aerospace university, Serika stating how the total passenger figure processed used to be millions increased with the implementation of some aspects of the roadmap. The passenger figure grew to about 18 million in 2019, making aviation the fastest growing sector of the national economy pre-COVID-19 pandemic.
Mr. President, sir, when this government came into power in 2015, the aviation industry was faced with many challenges, some of which were unemployment of professionals, scarcity of foreign exchange, budgetary constraints, sustainability of waiver of aircraft and spares, and decaying and aging infrastructure and obsolete equipment, poor and intolerable conditions of airport facilities and equipment, as well as blocked airline funds, to mention but a few. Since you took over, Mr. President, you have done quite a lot. You've been solving these problems. They've been reduced to barest minimum. A case in point is when this country was under recession in 2016, when the price of crude has dropped from $140 to about 27. When we were in recession, when we've taken over power newly, Mr. President approved and released the sum of $600 million blocked funds belonging to international airlines. Consequently, the aviation roadmap was developed and graciously approved by Mr. President on the 18th of October, which includes the national carrier, airport concession, maintenance and repair overhaul facility, aviation leasing company, agro-allied cargo terminals, as well as aerospace university, and so on.
Serika assured Nigerians that the Ministry of Aviation was committed to the proper maintenance of all the terminal buildings and would integrate them with other infrastructure to ensure that passengers and other users have pleasant experiences each time they make use of them.
Mr. President, I would like to respectfully assure you and the general public that the Ministry is committed to proper maintenance of all terminal buildings and will integrate them with the infrastructure to ensure that passengers and other users have pleasant experiences each time they make use of these edifices.
The minister declared that one of the aims of the ministry was to grow aviation contributions to the GDP to 5% at $4.7 billion from its present 0.06% in the next few years. He explained that there would be air-rail connectivity between the domestic and international airports to shorten the traffic time between both terminals.
Mr. President, sir, in 2015, the total passenger number was a mere 8 million. With the implementation of some of this roadmap policy, the passenger figure grew to about 18 million in 2019. In 4 years, we grew from 8 to 18 million. It is important to mention that the country stands to gain significant benefits in restoring and maintaining connectivity within, to, and from the country Nigeria. Analysis from IATA shows that aviation sector provides 341 billion naira GDP contribution. Within the period under review, 160,000 local jobs created and 535 billion expenditure from visitors will be solidly generated from restoring and maintaining this connectivity.
Also speaking, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, lauded President Buhari for giving infrastructure priority in its government. He noted that the 3 projects commissioned on Tuesday, fertilizer, Lekki refinery, and the new terminal, would change the status of the country. According to him, they would not only create jobs for the teeming populace, but will also open up the country for foreign investments and opportunities.
So on his behalf, I want to thank all of you, Lagosians, Nigerians, that haven't waited patiently for him. And now here today, he's handing over again a Terminal 2 at the largest international and domestic airport in our country. And you can see that today alone is being all brand new things, breathtaking, commissioning, and these are deep infrastructure that will change the face of our country for a very, very long time. Mr. President, people might have forgotten that it's over 45 years ago when Terminal 1, the first terminal, was built. You are the only one that has put together a full second terminal at the gateway, at the international gateway of our country. Murtala Mohammed International Airport has a traffic of over 50 to 60% of international and domestic travel of our country. And so what you're doing, or what you've done, it's not only about job creation, it's not only about ensuring that our youth truly believe in your government, but it's about opening up the international corridor of our country and making Nigeria truly, really accessible to the entire world.
CCECC had commissioned construction of 4 new terminals at Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Port Harcourt airports in 2013, with the completion period fixed for 20 months. The partnership between Nigeria and China will facilitate seamless operations for passengers who are accessing the international corridor for business and other facilities. The Chinese government noted that Nigeria will continue to leverage the global partnership to enhance its transportation infrastructure as part of its roadmap to develop the aviation industry.
With immense joy, I, on behalf of the management of CCECC, heartily welcome Your Excellency, Mr. President, to this important making ceremony. Commissioning the new multimodal terminal building at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. I also want to use this opportunity to welcome all distinguished guests joining us for this occasion. We are indeed very pleased that Your Excellency, Mr. President, make all the time for your business schedule to grace this occasion. This commissioning brings the total number of commissioning new terminal airport as our airports to 4. Your Excellency, maybe please recall the new terminal buildings at Port Harcourt, and Abuja were also commissioned by you. This project underlines the commitment of CCCC towards economic and social development of Nigeria. The social economic benefits of this new terminal building cannot be overemphasized. It will not only increase the number of passengers passing through this airport, but also its processing of passenger and cargo, which will propel Nigeria into a transportation hub in Africa.
Today really is a big day, good day for Nigeria and China. Being the 14th Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, this month will be the full year for me in Abuja, in Nigeria. I'm very honored and lucky to have the opportunity to witness 3 times. 2 times in Lagos. First is about the railway flag off ceremony. And today we have 3 big projects. The Lekki Deepwater Harbor, refinery, and this brand new, modern, state-of-the-art terminal. I'm very proud the 2 countries work together under the leadership of Mr. President to achieve this very successful project. Mr. Chairman told me my remarks should be short, but I try to be cover the point. I'd like to use 6 P's to raise your attention how China and Nigeria, what we have done. The first is evaluation of this big project. My understanding, this aviation terminal will elevate the international image of Nigeria. We can bring more travelers to Nigeria. I think that more profit to the business and more benefit to the people. I congratulate all the participants, including the Minister of Aviation, your team, and also my fellow Chinese CCCC and the chairman and his team to make this happen today. We should give them big applause. The second thing I want to mention here, I really understand that Mr. President, your steadfast, persistent philosophy of infrastructure. This is your national policy. We know that without this policy, the whole country cannot move forward. So we believe infrastructure is not only the bottleneck for the next development of Nigeria and also for China. So I really thank you, Mr. President, for this national plan to give the Chinese company the opportunity.
The Nigerian government had secured a $500 million loan deal from the Exim Bank of China for the project, while additional counterpart funding of $100 million was added by the Nigerian government. The terminal is one of the 4 being built in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Kano in a bilateral arrangement between Nigeria and China. The ones in Abuja and Port Harcourt have been completed and commissioned already, while that of Kano has been completed and waiting for commissioning soon. Senator Hadi Serika, while speaking with newsmen after the commissioning, said he is grateful for being part of the process that produced the infrastructure being commissioned by the president and noted that it will see the growth of the aviation industry.
Really opportune and lucky to be part of the process that produced this infrastructure and this particular procurement. But for the country, it means growth of civil aviation. Civil aviation has a uniqueness of interconnecting and interacting economies, promoting trade, commerce, and tourism, and ensuring that the total national GDP is improved. Civil aviation is the only way to integrate Africa, to create the necessary interaction for social development of the people of Africa. If you imagine having to do roads and rails to connect every single nation within Africa, the quantum of money required to do that, the sustenance and the maintenance of those infrastructure is impossible. Civil aviation will connect you faster, quicker, and 100 million% cheaper. It has that uniqueness. 1 mile long road leads to nowhere. 1 mile long runway leads to everywhere. The connection between country and country, economy and economy, commerce and commerce means and equals to growth for the well-being, general well-being of the economy of the nation, and in particular the people. We in APC are social democrats in nature. We are doing pro-people's projects. This is one of it. The amount of jobs to be created by this venture is well jealously guarded by the President Muhammadu Buhari administration. This is the meaning of today. It is my hope and desire that within the life of this government, we should be able to achieve that. It is all dependent on the kind of partnership we create. If we create a right partnership with the private sector, which we have commenced and we have gone advanced, and the choice is between sole private sector or private sector with government of Nigeria and that of Lagos State. Any of the options can deliver that project within the life of this government. I want to be remembered as a Minister for Aviation who had the quest to improve on what I made and to put foundation for future growth of this industry, and that this industry shall play the role that it ought to play by being the catalyst for economic growth of the country, by playing that very important vital role to add to the GDP of the country, to provide service and employ our people, and to have a safe, secure, vibrant civil aviation industry.
One of the highlights of the event was the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria and the Lagos State government on the 9-kilometer airport Shasha Alimosho Link Road to be constructed by the state government.